Welcome to Storytime with Black Jesus. We've got one for you today, people. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. That tells any human being in this world that anybody can be an abuser, anybody can be the abused. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of them angry folks on YouTube that cries and shouts about social justice warriors and is upset that other people are getting a chance. We're not doing that. This is a safe space. We're not doing that per se. But I'll keep it 100 with you. She abused that dude. Most of the people being abused in the world are women, and that's a 100% fact. We know this. Don't get it twisted. Just because we have a woman abusing a man doesn't change the fact that most people being abused by their partners are women. That's a stone cold fact that cannot be disputed. If you want to dispute it, talk to a Martian over there, because I don't talk to stupid people on everything. Three is a magic number. We picture with that all the time. So let's talk about this specific case, because this case has come to international prominence and it's a real case. To start off, she took a poo on his bed. She defecated on his bed. If anybody has ever had someone do that to them, or you've ever done that to somebody, please let's hear from you in the comment section. Talk about it. We want to know. We would like to hear why they pooed on your bed or why you pooed on somebody else's bed, because that is going from 0 to 100 very quickly. So now, as well, there's a situation where they had an argument, because there's a point where blatantly he got in touch with his lawyers, and the lawyers must have told him, they were like, yo, you're gonna have to get evidence, because this is something that's gonna destroy your life. They're gonna call you an abuser. Everything they've done to you, they're gonna accuse you of doing. That's when you're dealing with somebody with psychopathic, insane issues. Because I forget exactly the ones. You can do your Googles yourself. Amber Rose has been diagnosed with 2 mental health issues. There's one historic, and there's another person. She's got like two personalities in one. So you're dealing with 2 type of crazy in one human being. Go figure. So there's a situation where it happened where and because he started recording, because I guarantee you his lawyer was like, yo bro, you have to start recording everything that happens. You're gonna have to start recording everything that happens, because he's gonna be needed in the long run, because you can't leave this person. If you leave them, they will do the most to destroy your life. And that's like a major manipulator, major sociopath / and or psychopath. They will never leave you alone because they think you are their property. And that's you. And it comes to like also the vampire myth. A vampire can never come into your house unless you invite them in. Because if you see most vampire movies, a lot of people don't know this, but I guarantee you rewatch any vampire movie, because it's part of vampire folklore, where they do, a vampire is gonna, but he could be like the sexy guy from the sexy jock from high school, Ray Tay Tay. He takes the girl, her parents are out of town, and they go on a date. And when she walks into the house, and he's gonna always stand outside the door, and she's like, "What are you doing? Come in." They've got you. So it comes to the same vampire. You can't if you let them into your life, you're fucked. Because now it's going to be a bloodbath. They're going to eat the cat, they're going to eat the dog, and they're going to eat the girl. It's just one thing about vampires. You let a vampire in your house, but that's the whole thing about vampire folklore. You have to invite them in, because if you don't invite them in, they can't cross through the threshold of your door. And that just goes through with a psychopathic, homicidal maniac. If they don't get in your house, they can't kill you, because you're going to be safe indoors. So now there's a situation where they had an argument, and she hit. It's audio, so you can't see it, but he says, you just punched me. And she goes, why are you being a bitch? I didn't punch you, I only hit you. That's what her words were like. I didn't punch you, I only hit you. Gentlemen and ladies, what what kind of subjugation and what kind of that is using semantics to a whole new level of semantics. Even the US military or the Russian military don't use semantics that intrinsically. I didn't punch you, I only hit you. Keep your hands to yourself, and that's just a fact. Another one was when he was drinking in he was drinking. Bearing in mind it's his house. It was, I think he woke up, they were arguing, he pulled a glass of wine, drinking. She's like, why are you drinking? You know, he's like, no, I'm drinking because you're pissing me off. So I'm drinking just to numb the pain of you pissing me off. Because you're alcoholic, and you can actually hear a slap. And it gets to the point where he stops talking. Because now he's being trained. Because that's how people train dogs very badly. How you manhandle or defeat a dog, you attack them and you beat them, and they know not to do certain things, and that's a very negative way of training a dog, and no normal trainer would let you do that. But when you start slapping somebody, beating them, and at first they argue back with you, but you beat them so much, it gets to a point that, you know what, they just actually shut up, because you can hear the slap, and he actually did not talk, and she slapped him and kept on talking over him and shouting at him, and he actually that's just told you homeboy had been trained. And this is Johnny Depp, one of the biggest rock stars, movie stars in the world. He's always been voted one of the sexiest men in the world, and he's been violated and attacked by this person. So that just lets everybody know that it can happen to you, me, you. It can happen to anybody. So everyone needs to be aware, and it could happen to not just you, me, you. It could be happening to your friend as we speak right now, and you don't know. So look out for the signs, because it's a very important thing that everyone needs to watch up on that case. It's unbelievable what has been shown, and that's why they call it Hollywood, because I'm sure there's a billion girls in this world that would love to be Johnny Depp's partner, and they would treat him with respect, and he comes across as he treats people with respect. I'm sure there's a million men too that would love to be Johnny Depp's partners, and they would treat him with respect too. But unfortunately, he met this psychopath, and that's what you have to call her. She's a psychopath. She is a psychopath that just completely violated a human being. And it's a thing where it's a lot to package, it's a lot to go through, it's a lot to see, especially when it's one of your heroes, one of your favorite movie stars, and and people make this unfortunate thing where we seem to think movie stars and musicians are gods. These are not even necessarily smart people. They're just good at acting, which is a make-believe job anyway, or they're good at singing a song, which is just writing my music. If you want to see a genius would be someone I'd consider like Socrates, someone like Plato, someone like Galileo, Archimedes, someone even like, I'd say, even Alexander the Great. He was a military genius. Someone like Julius Caesar, same way. So just because somebody writes a good song doesn't necessarily make them a genius. It just makes them a good songwriter. Somebody acts. Do you know what acting is? People, do you know what acting is? Acting is me right now saying I'm a duck. I feel like a duck, and I'm going to behave like a duck. Because when you go to action school, they actually will ask you a question like, I want you to play an egg right now, act like an egg. That is not a normal behavioral pattern. So so people are literally looking up to people that if you ask them to become an egg right now, they would act like an egg, whatever the fuck that means. Open your third eye, people. Think and listen. These are not people to look up to. We do because they play parts that we aspire to, but they're not the parts that they play in the movies. These are just actors. You ask him to play an aeroplane, he will literally do that in a heartbeat, because he's an actor. And that's why you have the Hollywood situation, because when people can turn emotions on and off that quickly, you're not going to be dealing with necessarily the smartest person in the world. you're going to be dealing with somebody that might be very emotionally stable and someone that's a manipulator, which is what Amber Heard did to Johnny Depp. I'm sure he's probably not an angel, because none of us are. I'm not an angel myself. But it is what it is. You just have to call a spade a spade. And what was done to Homeboy was not the best thing in the world. Very harrowing to watch. It was very harrowing, but it's the life lesson that we all need to kind of watch and learn and see, that be who you want to be and don't let nobody clip your wings. Because sometimes even when you're flying high and people think you're flying high, there's people around you that want to clip your wings. Don't let it happen. Be the best you can be. Right, people? First take, first one. See you another time. One.